Hey garden friends, I'm Nikki from Proven Winners Direct. Happy Monday. It is time for 7 new beautiful plant of the day plants. Last week we featured 7 amazing hydrangeas and you guys went crazy, so we're gonna do it again. I have 7 different hydrangeas this week. Each day they will be 35% off. On Monday, you can shop for as many as you'd like from noon until 4 p.m. Eastern time. We've made it super easy for you to shop. All of the links are below in the description of our video. Click on that link, it'll take you right to the product page. And while you're down there, if you wouldn't mind, please give us a like and subscribe. We will love you forever and it helps our channel so much. So without further ado, let's go find some more pretty hydrangeas. Our first plant of the day is the Let's Dance Blue Jingles. Everybody loves the blue hydrangea. So obviously this is small. It's a quart. It's a quart size, so it's a younger plant. It's about 6 months old to a year. But once it gets happily planted in the ground, it will not take much time at all for it to take off. Anyways, the blue Jingles. So this is a reblooming hydrangea. It reblooms reliably all the way down to zone 5. It's hardy in zones 5 through 9. So my zone 9ers, I've got one for you and it's blue. And the great thing about Proven Winners macrophylla hydrangeas is they've worked really hard to keep them nice and compact. A lot of macs kind of like flop out, right, as they grow because they have those gorgeous blooms. These guys stay nice and tidy. They're beautiful in a container on a porch or something. Also great in the landscape. They only grow to be about 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide. So they're very small. You can fit a ton of them in just about anywhere, but they have that true blue, beautiful color that we love in acidic soils. Part to full sun, just like most hydrangeas. Colder climates, you can go full sun. Warmer climates, you wanna give it that afternoon reprieve from the hot heat and sun. Let's Dance Blue Jingles. Next up, we have the Invincibelle Blush Smooth Hydrangea. This is an arborescens. These guys are just as amazing as the Invincibelle that you all know and love. They're just this beautiful silvery pink. So they grow in zones 3 through 8, and they only get to be about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. So they have a nice rounded habit, they stay nice and tidy, and you can count on these. Arbs are super easy to grow and care for, especially if you're in a colder climate. You can put these in full sun and they will do just fine. And really all you have to do with any of the arborescens is in the early spring, trim it back about 1/3 of the plant, and that's it. And of course, give it some time-release fertilizer. But these guys are super easy. It'll take a couple of years, about 3 years, before those blooms become super duper massive, but they will be the size of basketballs, you guys. So it's just this beautiful, soft, silvery pink bloom on top of this gorgeous dark green foliage. It's a super easy hydrangea and it's absolutely stunning. Invincibelle Blush. Next up, we have the Invincibelle Mini M. So this is also an arborescens, but it stays a little bit smaller. So this guy only gets about 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide, nice rounded, smaller habit, so it can put it anywhere. They grow fine in containers and in the landscape. The main difference here is this beautiful, deeper pink bloom. So it's gonna start off that deep, rich pink, and it almost gets a little bit purple as it ages, and it's a rebloomer. So you're gonna have these amazing blooms from spring through frost. Invincibelles are super easy to grow, just like the Invincibelles. You really can't go wrong. You're still gonna wanna prune about 1/3 of the plant every spring, but it's super easy and it's tolerant. It's tolerant for gardeners like me who kind of, oops, sometimes, right? We do that, but this guy can handle it. It's gorgeous in the landscape. A beautiful low hedge of these vibrant pink flowers are amazing. It grows in zones 4 through 8, and you can plant it in full sun if you are in a colder climate. You want to give it part sun in a warmer climate. I always recommend morning sun. That afternoon sun can get crazy in the south, you guys, so you're going to want to give it some protection for that. Beautiful, beautiful bloom color, Invincibelle Mini M. Next up, we have one of my faves. It is the Gatsby Moon Oak Leaf Hydrangea. What I love most about these is the really tight, compact florets on the blooms, but probably my most favorite thing is that in the fall, the foliage is stunning. it turns this rich wine red color, and as it transitions, obviously you're getting all of those beautiful fall hues. It's gorgeous, stops me in my tracks every fall. And then you can imagine those amazing conical blooms. And I'm telling you, you can't see the inside. They're so compact, it's stunning. I love oak leaves. Now, some of you might be afraid of them because they bloom on old wood, but that just means you just don't prune it. It grows 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. So it is a big size. You do need to make sure that you have space because you really won't be able to prune it much. Because if you prune it on the old wood, you're taking off the buds for next year's blooms. So that's one thing to be super mindful of. This guy is hardy in zones 5 through 9. You can plant it in part to full sun. Again, warmer climates, afternoon reprieve from that hot sun and heat. But you guys, this is a gorgeous, stunning hydrangea. This foliage just gets ginormous. And if you haven't seen it transition in fall, go to the product page, swap through the pictures just so you can see how amazing it is. It's stunning. Gatsby Moon Hydrangea. Next up, we have my absolute all-time, hands down, will never deny it, favorite, the Limelight Panicle Hydrangea. I've been growing these for a few years. My mom's been growing them for many, many years, which is probably why I love them, childhood. But they are just reliable. They put up with me when I don't do what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes I hack them down to the ground and they grow back and they bloom and they're gorgeous. They have these amazing, huge football-sized panicle blooms. Now, again, it takes a couple years, right? They gotta get their roots established. They gotta grow up a little bit. But once they're established, mine took about, I think it was my third season. My third season, they were huge. These blooms are huge. I actually have a picture. We'll throw it up for you. But the key takeaway here is, like all panicles are reliable. You can pretty much put them anywhere and grow them anywhere. This is hardy from zones 3 to 9. But there's something about the Proven Winners Limelight. It's distinctful. You know when it's the Proven Winners Limelight. Panicles are a dime a dozen. My mom has a hedge of them and they are not Proven Winners. I'm sorry, Mom, that I'm ratting you out. But she's always like, every year, yours are so much greener than mine. Your blooms get so much bigger than mine. It's because it's a Proven Winners. It's my favorite. You will love it. You can't hurt it. Great, all the way down to zone 3, super cold, up to zone 9. Obviously, warmer climates, give it some reprieve in the afternoon. Colder climates, mine are in full sun. My moms get blasted all day long. And they are just fine every year, reliable, they hold up, they've got strong, sturdy stems, and those blooms cannot be beat. And they're starting to transition into pink, and they get that really rich color as the season progresses. Stunning. Love them, my favorite, Limelight Panicle Hydrangea. Next up, we have the Pufferfish Panicle Hydrangea. This is a newer variety panicle, and it kind of reminds me of the Bobo Hydrangea, but there is a very distinct difference, and that difference is that the Pufferfish is engulfed with amazing pure white blooms. You can barely see the foliage. It's insane, and it puffs. It's like, it puffs, literally puffs. So it gives us all of that reliable hardiness that we love of panicles, but it's covered in blooms, you guys. It's beautiful, it's cloud-like. These guys are hardy in zones 3 through 8, and they only grow to be about 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. So again, nice, round, compact habit, can go just about anywhere as long as it's in part to full sun. Reliable, sturdy, strong hydrangea with amazing blooms. Pufferfish. Our final plant of the day is the Quickfire Fab Panicle Hydrangea, and this is in fact fab. It is everything that we know and love about the original Quickfire. It's just got bigger, showier mop head blooms. So these guys are reliable bloomers, and they're the earliest blooming panicle hydrangea you can get. It blooms almost a month earlier than others. So you're just getting months and months worth of these amazing panicle blooms. They start off as a white, they get a little greeny and then fade into pink. Just great fall interest. They keep growing no matter what you do to them, like all panicle hydrangeas, which is why they're my favorite. These do get a little bit bigger. They grow 6 to 8 feet tall and 5 to 6 feet wide. So you do need to make sure that you give them some space, and they're hardy in zones 3 through 8. So they can go just about anywhere. Beautiful Quickfire Fab Hydrangea. There you have it, 7 more beautiful hydrangeas at a great discount. I hope that you saw something you loved or just have to have, because it's the perfect time to try them out at 35% off. And if you've noticed, if you watched last week, we had a couple of comments that were like, hey, I want an oak leaf, or where are all the Macs? I listened and we did that this week for you. I hope you loved it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Happy planting.